Hey, it's Gene from Suntour Channel. It's beer 30 on the 8th of May, and I thought I would stop what I'm doing. And I have been super busy lately. Take some time and record a video. Today's topic is going to be an entrepreneurial topic, right? So I'm going to put this in my entrepreneurs channel, not my channel, but my playlist. And the topic today is going to be hiring. This is a topic that I'm dealing with right now because I'm actually looking for somebody. And so the question is then, what kind of characteristics do I want in an employee? And, there's two things. There's a push-pull between two different broad categories of characteristics. One is skill set. It would be really nice to hire somebody with a skill set that I lack. For example, I don't know as much as I need to know about marketing, like email campaigns and setting up landing pages and sales funnels and designing brochures to be really splashy and composing emails that catch your attention. I mean, these are all things that I can do because I'm working on them, getting better. But is it such a thing that I need so desperately that I would consider the skill set above the other criteria? And what is this other category of characteristics? It's character. It's character. There was a famous ancient Greek philosopher who once said that a man's character is a sum of all of his habits. It was Aristotle. And think about that, right? There's something deep there, right? Because when you think about what is a character is all the things that I do in an automatic way, right? You could say, oh, it's just me, right? But it's not really just me. It's actually the things that I do by habit. What is a habit? It's just the actions that you take without really any conscious thought. I'll give you an example. You're driving down the road. Maybe you drove to work today. How many times, if you remember, did you, turn the steering wheel? How many times did you hit the brake? How many times did you hit the gas? You have no idea. Even if you had stopped and thought about it immediately when you got to where you're going, you still have no idea because your mind was off, doing other things. You were driving by habit. It's an automated process, mental process. And it's critical for human thought and human progress, so it's a good thing, right? But it is literally a building block of your character. It is the thing that you do when you're not thinking about it. Some people say that your character is what you do when no one else is looking. That's also kind of the definition of integrity, and I'm going to get into integrity here in a little bit. I actually think your character actually is probably the sum of all your habits, and it also has to do with your emotional makeup. Are you a conscientious person? Do you care about people? Do you want to do the right thing? Do you take pleasure in people's pain, or do you take pleasure in people's success? These are things that are the building blocks of character that are maybe not quite habit. So it's a little bit more complex than just habit. So what's more important? Is it a man's character or a man's skill set? Now, Warren Buffett once said something like, you should always try to hire somebody who's smart and has energy, but be careful that the smart, energetic person you hire also has good integrity, that they're honest. Because if you hire somebody that's smart and energetic and they're not honest, they're dishonest, they have bad integrity, they could easily destroy your company. Right? They can poison it by talking behind your back, they can steal from you, they can waste resources. And I've seen all these things happen throughout my career. In fact, I know a company who has had some serious problems, with employees that didn't have the right integrity. So how do you know what character skill or what characteristics, right, that actually pertain to a man's character are? How do you dig into what somebody's character is? How do you know? Because if they're coming to you for an interview, are they going to tell you the things that they think, or are they going to tell you the things that they think you want to hear? Are they going to tell you the things they think you want to hear? Right? Everyone's afraid of this. This is what happens all the time. This is nothing earth shattering because people face this problem all the time, especially in interviews. They're going to tell you what they think is going to get them the job. Now, why are they going to do that? Even if it's a bad fit, because there's money at stake. And if they have poor character, they don't give a crap about anything other than just getting the paycheck, which is part of the problem with their character. So if I were hiring, and I am, or I'm looking anyway, what are the things that I'm looking for as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, to hire in as an employee? Number one, I think this might be the most important part of a person's character, at least the first most important part of the table stakes that you have to have. You must be curious. You got to be curious. Because without curiosity, you're not going to come up with ideas about how to do things better. You're not going to ask the right questions of customers if you're on a sales call. You are not going to try to improve all the time. You're not going to catch it when something's wrong. Curiosity is what drives all of human progress, right? The drive to learn new things. And there's another thing, right? If you're not curious, it's going to take you forever to learn stuff because you're not going to care. Now, can you tell somebody who's curious from somebody who's not? Yeah, you can. I mean, you just talk to them. If you've got your mind tuned to, hey, is this a curious person? You're going to detect it. You will. Trust your instincts about it. So they got to be curious. I want them to be smart and curious, right? Just like Warren Buffett said, I think they need to be smart. Today's world, with all the technology and all the things you have to learn and the huge learning curve, you have to have the aptitude to be able to handle that kind of learning environment. I mean, if you're curious but you're not smart, I'm not sure that that's a great fit. So, curious and smart, then what? Well, I need you to have that integrity. I need you to be honest. Because I don't want somebody smart and curious that is a thief, or that is somebody looking to embezzle from me, or looking for new ways to, not do any work and get paid for it, or looking for ways to cut corners, that sort of thing. No, I need you to be curious and smart and have integrity. And then I think this might be perhaps the most important piece for success in any human endeavor. I want you to be dedicated. I want you to have tenacity, right? I want you to stick to it, right? When you start something, I want you to, as part of your character, I want you to just feel like you need to finish this thing, right? People who start things and don't finish it are not an asset to a company. People who give up too easily are not going to do well in any endeavor, especially in sales. And guess what? A huge portion of my job is sales. So I want you to be curious and smart and honest and have integrity, and I want you to have dedication. And if you have all those things, you're going to be energetic. I'm not going to have to motivate you. I'm not going to have to go find you and say, hey, what did you do today? Or could you please come and do this thing? I want somebody who's going to say, hey, I finished the thing you gave me. What can I work on next? Or I finished the thing you gave me. I didn't have anything to work on, so I started working on this other thing that I think you could really help you in your business or with your customers. So these are really key characteristics in all the best employees. If you've got those things, even if you don't have the right skill set, I'm going to be interested. Because skills can be taught, either by me or by some courses. So, hey, newsflash, if you haven't already figured it out, I'm looking. So if what I'm saying, what I'm describing is you, reach out to me. I am in the Frankfort, Kentucky area, and you'd need to be coming into the office, so you'd need to be willing to be located there. But yeah, I am looking for somebody that's like, let's call it an entrepreneur in training, right? Because I'm an entrepreneur, I wear all the hats, and frankly, I wear too many hats, right? I'm doing all the sales, I'm doing marketing, I'm doing web development, I'm doing my taxes, my accounting, I'm dealing with legal issues, I do consulting, I do a lot of stuff, right? I do data entry into CRM software, I do email campaigns. There's a lot of stuff that I do. And I'm running out of time. I would really like to get into automation and learn more about AI agents. From what I've already learned so far, they're actually a lot easier to pick up than people think. I don't have room on my head for more hats. I have so many that it's like wearing away my hair. Maybe not. Well, maybe it is. Maybe I have too many hats. And it's wearing away my hair. That's certainly maybe making it gray. So, anyway, that's really what I think we should be looking for if we're trying to get someone to join our team, right? Because look, if you're an entrepreneur, you've got this business. This business isn't some exercise that you're doing. This business is your baby, right? And if a baby is a member of your family, it happens to be a really important one that you need to nurture. So don't invite people in that are going to be leeches or poisonous or thieves, or time wastrels or general drags, find somebody with a positive sense of life. And you can tell, right? What is a sense of life? It's just like what somebody views the world and their existence in it as. Or is it a positive world? Is it a world that's filled with opportunity and the ability to master the situation and create your own life? That's one sense of life. Or is it a dog-eat-dog world where everyone, gets their little slice of pie, and if my pie is bigger than yours, that means I take it from you, right? One's a benevolent view, one's a malevolent view of the universe. So be careful, right? Don't be like that guy that I talked about before who chose his leather more carefully than his wives. He was a leather worker at the farmer's market with me. And he made great leather work, but he was on his fourth wife. I think the fourth one, the one I knew, was pretty good. But the ones that were before, he complained about them all the time. He told me all kinds of things that happened with his ex-wives. And I told him, I said, Paul, I think, you choose your wives less carefully than you choose your leather. And that was a shocking moment for him, but he admitted that it was absolutely true. So choose your employees a lot more carefully than you choose anything else for your business, because it's really hard to let go of an employee that you picked up. There's all kinds of emotional baggage. There's potential legal baggage. There's, other hazards that are involved. It's a lot easier to hire than to fire. Elon Musk says the key to getting the best people is to hire fast and fire fast. Well, the fire fast is a lot harder than he's making out it to be. So maybe it's easier for him because he's used to it. It's not so easy for most of us. So anyway, this is my topic for today. If you've made it this far in this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It literally costs you nothing. And YouTube doesn't push all my content to you and take some kind of bandwidth away from your normal subscribe base. It's just using it as a metric to see if my videos actually engage anyone and they're interested enough to give me a like and subscribe. So please do that. It's a personal favor to me and it costs you nothing. And until the next time, I will think of another topic and do it. And if you have any suggestions on things that you want to talk about, or if there are characteristics that you are really in tune for when you are hiring, or if you are an employee and you think that there are certain characteristics that people should be looking for, make comments. Comments on YouTube videos are an open forum. Let me know what you think about whatever I've said. So that's it for today. I will see you on the next one.